this is the first test that we want to do to the EcoFlow Max 2000 Max. We want to shoot a whole episode, 2 hours of the weekend update, even the break in between that we normally take. We are going to shoot all that using this, and then I'll let you know. So right now we are still using the studio electricity, but then we want to see how long can this last. Let's say, as people normally say, God forbid there was no electricity and we had to use this, how long would it take? So as I keep saying, oh, this is a heavy one, so here it is. So yes, the EcoFlow 2000 Max. So now the first thing that we do is we need to protect the machine. So we are going to switch off the other electricity. So you just have to wait for me here in light. There'll be darkness and I'll be back. You can be looking at the EcoFlow. So now, the first thing we do is we get rid of the lights. Dude, lights off, sir. So now that the lights are off, we come back to the EcoFlow and we switch on this. Let's switch it off in the meantime. Now we need to attach the power. Now we are attaching the power. Now we have attached the power. The next thing that we do is we switch on. So as you can see, it's keeping it 100. As it keeps it 100, I need to know where the AC button is. I think the AC button is here, behind here, or yes. Let me switch on the AC button. Now the AC button is on. And as Jesus said, let there be light. So now we are using this. So what we are trying to see is how far this Max can serve the whole studio without power going off, and then we'll let you know. So according to this, right now we are using 507. We're using 507 watts and we have 4 hours. So yes, we're using 507 watts and we have 4 hours. But because of me, need Ian to come up. Because of me, I'm a little bit more dark skinned than Mr. Rapcha, the scientist next to me. So what we are going to do is we are going to add an extra light. But the extra light, no, the extra light we can no, let's just leave the extra light, because I can see we still have power on the sockets. So we're just going to run this studio with the electricity, and then we see what's going to happen. So yes, afterwards I'll let you know if it actually took the 4 hours. But as you can see, it's quiet. It's quiet. It's really quiet. Yeah, so this is the first time that it's going for a road test, and we'll let you know how that goes. So yeah, we'll be back to let you know more. So this is after the IKONINI shoot. We shot around 2 hours, but apart from the 2 hours, there was the preparing before starting the show. And right now it's been like around 3.5 hours. So in 3.5 hours, we can look at the percentage that we have right now. So we are at 14%. But even apart from looking at that, you can use the app. So you can see the app. Sorry about the screen. iPads get really dirty, the screen. But you can see 14% is saying that we have 34 minutes. So this has been able to run basically the studio, 507 watts. This is the studio plus all the lights, like in the studio. They've all been run by this one thing. And the funny thing about it is, like, if you are to even touch it, because you expect like it to heat, like if you were to touch it, it's so cold. This is so cold that if someone touched your bare skin with this, you'd move. You'd be like, so this is really good. This is 2000 watts. So now we can say that we are ready for any interview, be it a politician, be it anyone who's busy. cause kitu moja tunajua ni KPLC cannot stop us. So KPLC cannot stop us, but this is very interesting. So according to this, we still have 33 minutes to go. We started at 5 sharp, so that means it's going to have taken 4 hours and 8 minutes. 4 hours and 8 minutes, and this is saying that it's pulling 507 watts. I think part of the wattage has to be wastage, because this would mean that it's basically perfect, because 547 times 4 would mean 28, and this is supposed to be 2048. That would be too perfect. So there's something that I feel like this 507 watts, because I know the studio itself, it's 40 watts per light, so 40 times 11, that takes us to 440. And then we have a few lights that are still on in the studio, like the editing room, the light is still on, and that would be around like 20 watts. So I don't know, the 20 watts, if we add to 440, we'd end up with 460. If we multiply that by 4, we'd end up at around 1840. If we divide by 2048, it would be at least an efficiency of around 90%, which is basically perfect, because like the smaller one that I have, the River Pro 2, has an efficiency of around 75%. So this one has an efficiency of 90%. Like basically you're losing the 10% to heat and such stuff, because you know things have to heat up. And as I told you, this thing is so cold. It's so cold, man. It's colder than yeah, it's cold, man. So yeah, that's what I'd say. So that's basically a test plus a review. This is basically perfect according to me, especially for people who are content creators, because this one you're sure of doing your content. But apart from even content creators, if you have this in your home, this means that you can run your TV, run your internet, charge your phones, and TVs and phones and what take a maximum of 200 watts per hour. So this one can serve you for 10 hours, 10 clean hours. You just have a, if you're just running your internet, this can, if it's the internet, you can have your internet for 2-3 days, internet plus phones. So this is really crazy. And now the crazier part about it is it also takes a very short time to charge. It takes around 1 hour. So that's the reason why, if you are to ask me to either whether you should get the EcoFlow or other brands, because other brands take much longer, even Anker, like I've seen the reviews, people say that the Anker one takes up to 4 hours to charge. And Blue 80, I'm sure Blue 80 takes around 4 hours, and it's very noisy when it's charging. This one right now it's running. Yes, there's a small hum, you can feel it with your, but it's still too low compared to Blue 80. Blue 80 will take around 4 hours to charge. This takes 1 hour. That's enough reason to take the EcoFlow Delta Max 2. Yes, this is really good, man. I'm really I was really looking forward to testing it. Now we've tested it, we've been able to shoot 2 hours of the weekend update, run all these lights without stopping, and we felt everything ran perfectly. The next time what we'll do is we'll add the extra light that we're using in the studio. We'll add the phones, not the phones, the mixer, plus the like everything, just run everything on it, and we are 100% sure we'll still get at least 4 hours, because right now it's saying 4 hours and 8 minutes. I'm sure that 8 minutes of charge is enough to handle everything else, because all these things will be running in less than maybe 5 watts. Yes, so yeah, so that was it. This was a test. Even by the time that right now I'm basically signing out, the battery is still going. Let's see what percent. You just use the app, you go to the EcoFlow app. The EcoFlow app is saying we are at 12%, and the 12% is saying 28 minutes. But if you were to divide 100 by 12, you'd get around 8 point something. Yes, let's say 8.3. If you were to take the 8.3 and multiply by 28, that would come to around 240. If you divide by 60 minutes, you still get your 4 hours. So basically that's how efficient this thing is. Like, I wanted it to be able to do 4 hours, and it's actually doing 4 hours. So that's the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max. Yes, 2048 watt hours. Super quiet, super, I don't know. I have nothing negative to say so far. That's all I can say. EcoFlow have not even paid me. EcoFlow, pay me.